Hello antique friends, and welcome to my channel for another antique related video. Today I have another item to share with you that's a featured piece that will be in my antique booth. And this piece is a furniture type of piece that was born out of necessity during the time when fireplaces were the main source of heat. This particular piece, the fire screens, as they were called, to protect people from the excessive heat of the fireplaces, really came into being early in the centuries, but during the 18th century, the pole fire screen was born. Now, the pole fire screen is just a panel on a tripod, and if I pull it up here like this, you might be able to see the base of the tripod there. And it would sit in the parlor or drawing room, near the fireplace, of course. And the primary purpose of the pole screen was to protect the occupant that was sitting nearby from the excessive heat of the fireplace. During the early days of cosmetics, it's my understanding that the makeup that women wore was a paraffin-based type of makeup, and it would indeed melt if you were near the fireplace and had too much heat. So in order to prevent that, the fire screen was designed so that it could be turned. As you can see, there's a little metal knob there. I hope you can see that. And it could be raised and lowered according to the height that you needed for it to be. Then it was positioned in such a way that it would shield the person's face that was sitting nearby from that excessive heat, and it was also a decorative element in the home. And now, during this time, a lot of people are using these for a different variety of things, and it can be tucked into a corner all by its own. This particular fire screen is got about 14 by 14 inch panel here, and it raises to a height of around 44 to 45 inches. This is an old tapestry that's on here, and it does have the metal latches here so that it can be easily removed and replaced with something else. I was reading that during the Victorian times they would even put photos sometimes on these panels, and even elaborate paper mache artistic work that they would use to display. And so it had a variety of different purposes, ways to present itself, and they used it then as kind of a nice decorative accessory in their homes. I do not know on this particular fire screen the kind of wood that it is. It's a dark wood, and the finish does not allow me to see the grain of the wood, but it's a nice finish on it. And the top, I don't know if you can see, but the top has a little metal decorative element there on that covers the top of the pole. This piece will be for sale in my antique booth. Unfortunately, it will have to be a shop-only sale because this would be a little bit too difficult for me to try to ship and do it without damage. I'm going to price this around $49, so I think that will be a real bargain for somebody that might be looking for something like this. I could see this repurposed in a variety of ways. An antique dealer might use it as a display piece in their booth. There's a lot of different things that you could pin or put on the panel. It could be a nice sign that gives your business name. I could just see a lot of different things being done with it. You could even put a collection of jewelry on it or something of that nature. So use your imagination if you're interested in something like this, because this could be a real helpful piece for you to use in a way that you might desire. And so Again, it will be for sale in my antique booth. And before I close, let me remind you that my antique booth is located in Antique Crossroads, Hagerstown, Maryland. You'll find my booth on the left side of the Antique Mall, 3rd row. Just look for the large sign that hangs in the back of my double space booth. And also, please check the description of the video where you will find the links to where you can find me on the web. You'll see a link to my web page as well as my online store and social media sites. And then before I close, let me just encourage you to subscribe to my channel. I love to have new subscribers. It's a big boost for me when I see a new subscriber. And I also love your comments. Please like and share the video. It helps to spread the news of antiques and helps us get the information out there about antiques, and I would just really appreciate it if you would do that. Also, before I close, let me remind you to enjoy your antiques and learn about your antiques once you acquire something. The history behind them is so interesting, because when you have an antique, remember, you own a piece of history. So bye-bye until later.